So I'm gonna pull this in toward me and drop it down to second as soon as I need to. I want to talk about 904s just for a moment, and the two I have here. To set the record straight, I'm not a transmission specialist. I don't like working on transmissions. They're uninteresting to me. I did rebuild one in my life. I hated every minute of it, and I haven't done one since. I will say that I'm just going to share with you my experiences and what I know, perhaps what I don't know. This here is the 904 that was in my 76 Duster since what, 2015 or 16? It's been 9 or 10 years it's been in there. It is a stock original one that came behind a 318 two-barrel, and this is the stock original torque converter that came behind that same 318 two-barrel. But it still is a perfect working transmission, even though it's started off its life. In that car, it was 14s, then 13s, and then 12s. Never an issue, ever. This one here is a 904 that I picked up from, I'm going to call him a dragway friend of mine. He's been building transmissions for a long time for a lot of racers. This particular transmission is a 904 that was the backup to his 904 in his stock Eliminator truck. This is what I can tell you about this 904, is that I believe, if I remember what he said correctly, it has the low first gear in it. It's a reverse manual valve body, which means, if you don't know, that means where low normally would be, that would be third gear. And where drive would normally be, that would be first gear. It does have a deep pan on it. And other than the fact that that he built it for his stock Eliminator truck to back up the 904 that was in his stock Eliminator truck. For a quick pointer, these flex plates only go on one way. You can't be off one turn, because these aren't a square pattern. So this only goes on your crank one spot. You got two that are close together, and then you got to line up your torque converter to them. And most people just take paint marker and mark them. But if you're going to a different converter and you're leaving your flex plate like I did on the engine, well, then you got to come up with a way that you could mark it so you don't have to turn it a bunch of times. And so I'm going to do that by bolting it onto this one that I marked with my flex plate. And then I'm going to mark this now like that. And then what we can do is turn it till all four align. So now that I got those in, I can mark the torque converter, and this is where it would be lined up on the old converter. So I used the old converter, which is marked for my other flex plate. Now that I got this mark, I can line up those two marks, and it should take the guesswork out of it. Well, let me get this thing up in there. We can go out and just see how things work. That's going to be fun. I don't look forward to getting on my back anymore. I get dizzy and nausea. Okay, so I'm in reverse. There's neutral. And now, what normally would be drive is low. So see, it won't shift on its own. It's manual valve body, see? Just revs. So you got to do it on your own. So you take off in first, second, there's third. So what would normally be low is now third. And if I come to a stop, it's going to stay in third. Just in case you don't know what a manual valve body is with a reverse pattern, this is it. I have to shift every gear that I want, and it's opposite of what it would be, because it wasn't intended for it to be here. You're supposed to buy an aftermarket. All right, so I'm going to try this manually without messing things up. Let's see how it goes. Put it right down here. All right, let me see how this goes. So I'm gonna pull this in toward me and drop it down the second as soon as I need to. Third, second, third. I'm gonna try to get my shift points and my traction take off like I hope it to be. Ready? I'm gonna pull this in and I'm hoping that I get a good takeoff. Yeah, see, I over-revved it. It is hard. That was 6,000 RPMs for people who don't think this will turn to 6,000. So it's going to take me just a little bit of practice. That 1-2 shift is really tricky because I can't just go down with it. I got to pull in to go down. So I got to leave with it pulled in. As you saw inside there, I hit 6,000 RPMs and I'm trying to shift at 5. So it's going to take a little bit of work and practice. Less slow as the go. It went 12/8 before. I know it's quicker. It's making more power down low. Not the engine, but the torque multiplier, the torque converter is allowing more torque to be applied. That's why I couldn't spin before and now I can. But I think it's a very controllable spin. If I just don't give it everything it has at the very second, I can actually leave pretty reasonable on a regular street. On a drag strip that's got a prep surface, I think I'm going to be able to leave hard. And if so, I think the ET is going to fall. And the next update I have on this, we'll be at the track with it. Whenever their schedule and my schedule crosses and lines up. So hopefully soon.